speaking order for today. First will be our Medina Alert creator, Larry Stevenson. Larry is currently the Director of Public Affairs and Safety for the Office of Excise and Licensing for the City of Denver. And Larry's going to explain the origin of the Medina Alert program. He'll be followed by the District Attorney of Denver, Mitch Morrissey, who will tell the story of how the Medina Alert program came about. Also speaking after Mitch will be our mayor, Steve Hogan, the mayor of the City of Aurora, followed by Denver Director of Regional Affairs, Anthony Graves, and finally our Arapahoe County District Attorney, George Brauchler. So with that, I'll hand this over to Larry Stevenson, who is a visionary behind this whole program and its expansion throughout the Denver metro region, and he'll explain the Medina Alert program. And before I do that, I just want to thank all our colleagues who you see behind us. You see some of their vehicles, our limousine and cab drivers and transportation drivers who drive throughout the City of Aurora and are going to be participants in this program to make us all safer. So with that, I'll introduce Larry Stevenson. Larry?
Thank all of you so much for coming out. I want to especially thank Chief Oates, Lieutenant Jeff Turner, Mayor Steve Hogan, both the DAs behind me. There's so many people to thank for making this vision a reality. I see Division Chief Quinones from Denver just arrived. Thank you for, come on up here, Chief. Thanks for joining us and showing this partnership here. This has been a long time in the making. Let me just give you a little history behind this program. We started the Taxis on Patrol program specifically January 21st of 2011. On January 22nd of 2011, one of the trained taxi drivers for the program witnessed the fatal hit and run of Jose Medina in front of the Rockstar Lounge on 9th and Lincoln. From that comes now the Medina Alert. That call was our very first, it was our inaugural call out of the Taxis on Patrol program. So it prompted us meaning, I know my name is out there being the creator, but I have to say my wife and I created the Medina Alert specific to serious bodily injury and or fatal hit and runs. We wanted to find a way to connect the dots to instantly galvanize and energize not only transportation providers, but all of the community collectively in the search and responsible reporting of hit and run drivers. Because a taxi driver was willing to take his time and get involved and follow a hit and run driver, all four of those people in that car that fatally killed Jose Medina are now serving the maximum sentence allowable in the state of Colorado for fatal hit and runs. Norma Veer-Nolasco, who was the driver on that day, was found on a tarmac in Phoenix, Arizona with a one-way ticket. And I don't know if you know, but the United States of America, the state of Colorado, does not have reciprocity with Mexico on fatal hit and runs. Had she had gotten to Mexico, even knowing she was there would be no way for us to bring her back. But because of the responsiveness of a taxi driver, all of those people are serving the maximum sentence, again, allowable in the state of Colorado for fatal hit and runs. So we've expanded the program to allow for the police department to have extra eyes and ears out there on the streets. There's effectively, to date, more than 2,500 extra eyes and ears on the street to report to police if they see something and say something by way of the Medina Alert as well. We are now training not only taxi drivers, but limo drivers, shuttle bus drivers, electric bus drivers, pedal cab drivers. We've signed a contract to train pizza delivery drivers in this effort. So again, right now there's effectively over 2,500 extra eyes and ears for Denver, for Aurora, for Arapahoe County in this effort to ensure that our communities are a safer place to live, work, and play. How this works is once it is determined that the solvability factors have been met, whether partial or full license plate, whether a proper description of a suspect and or run vehicle, serious bodily injury has occurred, or a fatality has occurred. 911 center is notified by the responding officer or the officer on scene. The 911 center sends out an email blast to all of our transportation providers and to Crime Stoppers as well. Crime Stoppers has an app. Metro Denver Crime Stoppers has a free app for smartphones that once a Medina alert is issued, that app will push information out on your smartphones to not only transportation providers again, but to the general public as well. And we just push that information out. We get it out to transportation providers on the computer, onboard computer, in their cars, on their phones, through social networking. Every part and piece of communication that we can use for this program, we do that. But it's all in effort, again, to ensure that our communities are a safer place to live, work, and play. So again, I thank the dignitaries and I thank law enforcement, but to you, transportation providers, thank you for what you're willing to do. Thank you for what you volunteered to do to ensure that our communities are a safer place to live, work, and play. Thank you for your partnership with law enforcement. I was told when we started this program that we would only train 25% culturally, by way of culture, community, of color, that we would only train 25% of people in this industry. Presidential Limo is the first limousine company 100% trained. Metro Taxi is 100% trained. Yellow Cab is just about there. Freedom, Union, we're all just about there. Mile High Pedal Cab, we're all just about there. So today, we're launching the program in the city of Aurora. Make no mistake about it. When we launched in Denver, February 16th of 2012, the visionary leader for this city, Mayor Hogan, was at that press conference. And him and I made a promise that we would launch this in Aurora. Chief Oates has always backed this program. We also said that we would launch this in Aurora. Lieutenant Jeff Turner came on board, pushed the paperwork through. D.A. Brauchler is here today. This is very important. D.A. Morrissey is here today. Representative is here today from Denver. Director of Regional Affairs, Anthony Graves, is here to ensure that partnership between Aurora and Denver. And our division chief, Chief Quinones, is here to, again, show the strength of the partnership between law enforcement, city, community alike. So again, I always start with the disclaimer that I'm from a long line of Baptist preachers. And I can talk all day. Thank God the weather is what it is. I'm going to hand this off now. Thank you guys so much. I'm so humbled and so very blessed that you all would come out to support law enforcement community and our transportation providers alike. I'm going to hand it off now to D.A.
I do want to thank all of the transportation providers that are here today. Denver has actually been the benefit of the Medina Awards. We have seen now these alerts go out over 50 times in the city of Denver. Jose Medina was a 21-year-old young man working downtown Denver as a valet when he was killed by a drunk driver who didn't even remember hitting him. All the members of her family that were in the car advised her to leave, and then the family members conspired to get her out of the country so she would not be held accountable. Because of the transportation provider that made that call, and information that we were able to obtain then through other people, we were able to find that car and then tie back to all the people involved. And as Larry said, all of them were held accountable for their role in this fatal death, and all of them served time for their role in what they did. It is critical that when you have a hit and run, that you find the car. And the only way to do that is through help from the community, help from drivers, transportation providers, any information that can be provided. Crime Stoppers is extremely important in that, because once you find the car, you can forensically tie it back to the scene. You can do that through trace evidence, you can do that through DNA evidence, paint transfer, depending on the kind of accident that it is. So it's critical when we have a hit-and-run accident that we have information that gets us to the car. Once we get to the car, then we can hold the driver accountable. And in this state, if flee the scene, where you kill someone, or where you cause serious bodily injury, it's a penitentiary sentence. One of the things that driving out here today that this reminded me of was the fact that Aurora is joining us in one of our saddest unsolved hit-and-run cases in Denver is on the border of Aurora and Denver. 14th Avenue in Yosemite, where two young boys and their mother were hit by a hit-and-run driver, and those two little boys, the Kahn brothers, died. Michael Hancock, the mayor of Denver, and I have begged the community for information to help us find that black Escalade that probably drove into Aurora that night after mowing down this family. This is going to make a difference. This is going to help us solve crimes. It's going to help us hold the people accountable. I want to thank everybody from Aurora for having the Denver DA here. And it's my honor today then to introduce Mayor Hogan from the City of Aurora.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm probably the least important person here. We have people who are literally out on the street every day, provide information, provide help. We have individuals here from police department. We have individuals here who represent that branch of government that prosecutes cases. We have Larry here who made it a passion, I think, to just put together programs that work. And me. So, but I am here also to say thank you. I think this is another great example of an opportunity in this metropolitan area where our cities can find ways to work together, where our communities can find ways to work together. And we can do it for the common good of all of us here. We need to have these kinds of examples of what can work. And it's not just public-private, it's community. That's where it really makes a difference. So I'm, as I said, I'm pleased and proud to be here. I'm glad that we have individuals from both Aurora and Denver, because it shows very vividly that opportunity for communication and collaboration and working together. I would like at this time to introduce Anthony Graves, who is the Denver Director of Regional Affairs representing the Mayor.
Well, first let me say that the City of Aurora is so lucky to have such a wonderful and humble leader in Mayor Hogan. Please give him another round of applause. Again, I'm honored here today to bring greetings on behalf of Mayor Michael Hancock for the City of Denver to really congratulate the City of Aurora for adopting the Medina Alert. The City of Denver sees the Medina Alert as an incredible public safety tool. One of the things that really has served the City of Denver well is that this program empowers residents to take a role in public safety. It really gives them a voice in helping to report crime, right, and change lives. And so we are so excited about the promise that this program holds for the City of Aurora. And we think it's important to note that we are so proud to work with the City of Aurora. We actually have a number of joint public safety agreements or intergovernmental agreements. And we think that the adoption of the Medina Alert is just a natural continuation in the spirit of cooperation. So again, we congratulate you, Mayor Hogan, and the City of Aurora, and we look forward to continuing our great partnership around public safety. Thank you.
I feel like I'm probably preaching to the choir here when I say that this is what makes this outstanding is that it's a community response to something that any one of us could be a victim of. What's interesting about driving, I think, what's compelling about it is that we take these big metal boxes, we drive down the road at high speeds. The only thing that keeps us from careening into each other, paint on the road, some lights, maybe some signs, and the faith and trust in our fellow man that if there is an accident and someone is hurt or killed, that they will do what is legally required and what is morally responsible and stick around. When that doesn't happen, they must be held accountable. that's a difficult process, especially in a community as busy and diverse as Aurora, as the 18th Judicial District, as Denver. That's hard. What I love about this is that this wasn't a top-down solution. This was a bottom-up solution that people came willingly to try to put this together. People came together to say, we can do this as a community, and if you're going to run away from the product of your mistake or your crime, you will be held accountable. So here's my pledge as the prosecutor for the 18th Judicial District. You catch them, we'll clean them and cook them.